The minivan market isn't going anywhere, and although it only makes up 4% of sales in the US, automakers are actually, and this is kind of the rumor mill right now, and what we've seen in Detroit and with the big automakers, is that they are looking to use their minivans as platforms for their new autonomous vehicles of the future. Versatility, they're slimmer in chassis size, but they have a lot of versatility on the inside, which is great for families. So how do you take technology of the future and incorporate it into vehicles today? You find the platform that makes the most sense, and that is the minivan. But I digress. It's a minivan, and it doesn't have that same cool feature is, say, a Cadillac Escalade or a super cool crossover vehicle, even from brands like Hyundai and Kia. But I want to break this down and give you guys all of the reasons why I think that minivans have a place in the market, and why the Chrysler Pacifica, if you're in the market for a minivan, should obviously be one of your top choices. So you guys ready? Let's dig in and check out the 2024 Chrysler Pacifica Limited Hybrid. So first, right out of the box, we're going to talk about what makes the Chrysler Pacifica Limited Hybrid different than any other minivan in the market. If you want to think about incorporating modern technology into a minivan, you're getting it with this one right here. So what does that mean to you watching on the video today? Well, if you take the electric powertrain that is part of the Pacifica and the hybrid version, so the plug-in hybrid electric version, you're going to get 32 miles of electric technology. Then you add that in with a gas-based motor, and you're going to get 520 miles of total range, meaning you're going to have to stop to go to the bathroom before this thing runs out of gas. And we put it to the test driving from Nashville, Tennessee to Seaside, Florida, to see what this minivan can do. So as far as powertrain goes, here's what's really awesome about this particular version, which is the plug-in hybrid version. And again, yes, it's a minivan, but every time you come to a stop, it's going to engage the electric powertrain off the line for the first 20 yards. And that means, hey, Ford Raptor, if you think you're faster than me off the line, if I got electric power running through my veins, this thing is sharp, it's fast, and it's fun off the line. So when you plug it into your house, you can charge this thing up pretty quickly if you have a fast charger. I think it takes about 2 hours to fully charge it, but the point is, with that mild hybrid technology, that hybrid technology combined with a gas motor, you get to have your cake and eat it too. If you don't want to go fully electric, don't go fully electric. If you want to go gas, you can stay gas, but what's great about this is it decides for you. You can't actually put it in an electric mode. This one is going to make all the decisions for you. So you're always going to get the maximum output of this vehicle. Now, as we kind of move off the powertrain platform, I want to talk about styling. This one obviously has a sporty look with the kind of gray color appearance and the blacked out wheels, and that's because this one has what's called the S appearance package, and that is the sportier version of the Pacifica. So you can see as you make your way around to the front, it's got a blacked out grille, it's got black bezel around the LED lights on the front, black down below. So they give you that performance look because there are a lot of minivan owners that are kind of tired of the old minivan look. So even though this has the shape, it still has that kind of cool appearance. And as you make your way down the side, you've got black on the window, or black on the mirrors, you got black bezel around your window slits, your window sills, and then all the way down monochromatic on the side. So you don't see any chrome. There's zero chrome on this. It's all kind of muted with the gray and the dark black on here that gives you that sporty look. And although I've talked a lot about the electric powertrain and the fact that this is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, I do want to talk about the gas motor that's under the hood. It is a 3.6 liter V6, and what's unique about it is that when you combine it with the electric motor, you're going to be pushing out about 260 horsepower, and both of those combined is what gives you that 520 miles of range. All right, and with the S Appearance package, a special shout out, they're running Nexans, which if you're not familiar with the brand, they are, I guess what I would call them is kind of a tier 1 tire at a tier 3 cost, so super affordable. And these are great tires. Now, what's exclusive to that S Appearance package is that it's running on 18-inch wheels and they're blacked out as well. All right, one of my favorite features about this car are the key fobs. This key fob is heavy. And that's because you got all these buttons on here. and I love them. So obviously unlock and lock the car, but I love the fact that you got the double tap for the rear tail, the double tap for the left door, double tap for the right door. And if you want to start the car, you just have to lock it and double tap here. All in one, everything, by the way, because it's a plug-in hybrid, you can't hear it, but it is on. All of these features combined just make it super accessible and easy for the person that's coming out from Target to open up the doors for the kids and the back to load everything in. And one of the reasons we wanted to test out the minivan is in thinking about who the owner is. Now, to be 100% transparent, Flora and I have never owned a minivan. We have always been sports utility vehicle people. So when Tyler and Megan were born, we went into an SUV and ended up in a Chevy Tahoe. So we don't have all the experience, but we're sharing it with you. And the mom behind the camera made sure I understood what I was looking at, especially here in the third row. So what you have over the top are seat belts, and these seat belts connect into the third row so that your kids are protected. And then your child safety tethers, of course, if you're putting car seats in here, whatnot, you're gonna wanna put your child's, they attach right here. Now, I do know about these because in the second row of the Tahoe, you had to have those for your kids, but just in the event that you're a mom looking at this vehicle or a dad and you're thinking about safety, you got your child safety tethers and you've got your seat belts that are removable and out of the way when you want to put the stow and go seats down. And what is the Chrysler Pacifica known for? It's right here, the stow and go seats. Everyone loves stow and go seats. I mean, you want to talk about ease of use. You just come in and you pull it and you drop it back. I wanted to do it slow. See how easy those are? You can get the dog in the back and get your groceries in. And then if you want to bring them back out, you just push it. That's all you got to do. Push it and then grab the strap at the top and pull it back. That's it. I mean, it's so functional and easy. And I think the fact that Chrysler still has this in their own arsenal of awesomeness is cool. All right, time to move. And of course, you have the easy push button here to shut the back hatch. Now we get to move to the inside. Now, what I love the most are options. Consumers like options. So these are the captain seats in here. Here's what I can tell you is that my kids absolutely loved sitting in the second row because they have the captain seats. Tyler was like, oh, I'm just gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna sleep. And that is awesome, right? Kids, long trips, long road trips, they get uncomfortable fast in a lot of vehicles. And what's great about the Pacifica is that you're given options with the second row captain seat. Also, let's talk a little bit about technology in the second row. This is super important. You have regular USB-C and USB connections. This is an HDMI point. Amazon Fire, so you have Amazon connectivity as well. Lots of storage, lots of places to hang things in the second row. And I'm going to give you my one knock. I hate doing knocks, but I have to do it. All right, so if you're a Chrysler engineer listening in, this is our biggest complaint. And again, remember, 7 hours in the car on the road, 7 hours back. I feel like I'm slouching in my chair. Cup holders, man. Like, we get it. Germans don't like cup holders. But here in the U.S., we freaking like cup holders. So as I shut my door over here, I don't have a lot of cup holders. I have one down here, and although my knee's in the way, you see the one cup holder down here. But outside of that, for a kid, you've only got one. You got no center console. I get it. It's a walkthrough. But there should be more cup holder options, and I would make it higher, right? You're asking a 7 or 8 year old, or in my case, a 14-year-old to like come down here and get their water and come up, and you can't fit a lot of options because of the way this is designed. So you might want to consider some other type of cup holder. What my kids did like is the ability to lock out the sun. So again, a lot of functionality and versatility, but locking it out is great. Another tip for the engineers. Again, I'm talking about parents, right? So the cup holder is one. Number two is, this is where your heating and cooling is. It's only on the right side. It's not on the left side. Megan's 14, she was in control. Tyler's 16, he was behind me. He wasn't in control. So that meant, hey, Megan, while she had her blanket over her listening to YouTube and avoiding the car, Tyler had to try and reach across and figure out how to do all of this. So it's either him or us up in the front having to figure out what the airflow is in the back. So I would just tell the engineers, I get it, but you might have to find another spot for this, or even better than that, you have one here and you have one on the other side, because minivan owners are using these for long hauls. So I think there's an intrinsic value to showing you what the vehicle looks like cluttered up, because let's face it, most of us are throwing a ton of stuff in our vehicles, In our case, we're doing a lot of shooting of content, so we take a lot of stuff and we normally try and pull it out of the vehicle so we give you a nice clean look. But it's a minivan, it's a kid mover, it's what we use to get groceries, it's what we take for long trips. So I wanted to kind of break down the interior, the way it sits as I drove in this morning. So let's start off with a little bit of the technology up here on front, and I'll shut the door just to give you a little bit more shadow. But first, you got a 10 plus inch screen up here, and this 10 plus inch screen is great. So when you just click it, it brings up the Chrysler logo, welcome guest, and then you've got your home page, and it's going to bring all the fun stuff up. Navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Now, I purposely turned off my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You're easily able to connect it to. Once I turn on my Bluetooth, I can connect actually a secondary phone right now. That's right, it's called airport surveillance. It's pretty cool when you're in the airport. People are like, whoa, who's looking at me? But I can connect it right now. I go to Apple CarPlay and it'll connect to the phone if I turn the Wi-Fi back on. Up on the screen, you've got a nice, I like the way it's laid out. So when you're on the road driving, everything is within touching distance, and I think that's great. So I have an easy ability to move through various features on the screen. Up on the steering wheel, you've got your adaptive cruise control. You've got your ability to control your volume, your music, all that stuff is right up here, and it's easy to control. When a call comes in, you can hit the green button. It'll actually, when you're connected to your phone, it'll pick up the phone for you. And then in the middle, you've got your voice recognition as well. We use that a ton. Hey, navigate to the nearest Starbucks. Hey, navigate to the nearest Milo's, which if you're from the South, you know Milo's is like a greasy burger place. Up top, this is kind of some stuff I want to point out. Don't get confused. These are your doors that open. So these are opening your doors. Oh, don't close the door. There we go. Got to open the door on this side. But this is where your doors and stuff are at. What's great is in the middle, you can hit this one. It opens and closes both of them. But for your moonroof, it's over here. These are your moonroofs. So you don't want to actually hit these at 60 going down the road. FYI, they won't open. Garage door opener, all that kind of stuff that you want. I want to move down here and focus in on this area. So first and foremost, because everybody's talking about these Stanley Cups, yes, I'm a dude with a Stanley Cup, don't judge. I like it because it fits in every cup holder and gives me a lot of water because I drink a ton of water. USB and USB-C charging ports, but there are two of them, meaning 4 total. Two USB-C, 2 USB, so Flora and I can both charge while we were out on the road. We can close this up, but even better than that, I can take my mobile phone and slide it way up under here, and it will charge because that's wireless induction. You have more charging here in the center console area, place to stow my dude glasses. You know these, right? We all wear these, don't? At a certain point in your life, you're like, hey, I gotta wear these because I can't see. But we all have those. But it's great because you can close everything up, put your cup in there, and it looks like you got a clean area. Armrests for long drives, also kind of great. I put the adaptive cruise control on, and I sat like this. By the way, this steering wheel is awesome. It's just like a big, aggressive steering wheel. Pretty little minivan, and I love that. And I love the S Appearance package on it with the dual stitching. But overall, interior is well thought out. You do get, from a safety standpoint, front crash avoidance, rear pedestrian detection, lane departure warning. All right, lane departure warning on a long trip. Every time you move, the car is moving you back and forth. You're like, oh, I'm a pinball. Ugh, stop. Sometimes I just want to drive the car. Chrysler thought that through, and they were like, you know what? Long trips, minivans, just right here. All you got to do is hit that button, and it turns the lane departure on and the lane departure off. It turns the park gate on and the park gate off. And that is awesome. I don't have to search for it. It's right here. And that's great. Driving around town, turn it back on. But on the long freeway runs where, you know, you're literally on the road for hours and hours and hours, you hit that button, it turns it right off. Very cool. So, all right, before we go, here's what I want to talk about. You know those cup holders? And I was talking about, man, there's not enough cup holders and like give you more. Then I started thinking about it and I was like, I think Chrysler's actually smart by limiting the number of cup holders. So if every occupant on the inside has one cup holder, you know what that limits? It limits drinking. And it limits my little 2 punks sitting in the second row saying, Dad, I gotta go pee. Dad, I gotta go pee. Right? So maybe there was a little bit more strategy with the cup holders than I'm giving Chrysler credit for by limiting the number of cup holders and providing more really cool tech creature comforts like the charging. Because if my kids are sitting in that second row, they're gonna wanna make sure that their devices are all charged up. The hybrid technology on this is amazing. The 520 miles of range is awesome. I mean, how do you compete with that in the market? And the styling, I mean, if I get out of the way and let y'all just take a deep breath and look at this thing, man, it actually looks pretty cool. What if you slammed it? Like, put it on 22s? I mean, it'd be like SEMA worthy for those that are watching. SEMA's the big aftermarket show in Vegas. But overall, I think with that 3.6 liter, the 32 miles of electric range, the interior comfort on the inside, the luxury feel, I think Chrysler's again knocked it out of the park, and it's the reason that they're sitting right at the top of the minivan race. As I mentioned at the beginning, one of the features about this that makes it unique is that automakers are, rumors are that they're going to be using these for electric and autonomous technology, and that's because of their slim design. It's really easy for me to park this in a parking spot, which is also great. So let's talk a little bit about pricing, and then we'll let y'all go, and you can go get your Stanley Cup and see if you can fit it in more things. Right around $37,000 for a Chrysler Pacifica. And that is a starting base price with a gas-based motor. If you want to jump into this one right here, which is the plug-in hybrid, holy heck, you're looking at about $51,000 on the starting price. But all in all, when you add that $51,000 in with that 520 miles of range, I think over time you're going to save yourself a couple pennies in the pocketbook. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed telling you more about what makes this minivan cool. Yeah, man, minivans can be cool. I think they can be cool. All right, give us a subscribe below. Throw your comments in. If you have a minivan, we'd love to hear your highlights and your biggest gripes. Gripes being one, because I think engineers from automakers will be paying attention to videos like this, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of input on how they make them for the future. All right, gang, have an awesome day.